Hello, Squirrel Tribe. Listen, I want to show you something very important and talk to you about what just came out as kind of breaking news regarding Joe Biden, Jill Biden, and the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, that is kicking off today, August 19th, in the city of Chicago, in the good old state of Illinois. And this is what has just come out. I want you to see this. These are U-Hauls at the White House. And you may be thinking to yourself, maybe they're bringing in some new decorations to the White House. Maybe that's the possibility, right? Well, maybe, but with what just came out before that, I don't think that's the case. Let me tell you what has happened. According to this, I said this morning, I did a live stream this morning, and I talked about the fact that when Joe Biden said that he would be speaking at the DNC today and passing the torch to Kamala Harris, I stated that in my opinion, that is his way of saying he will be resigning and handing the presidency over to Kamala. Now, I know that phrase, it means a lot of different things, the passing of the torch from one to another, but generally speaking, that is the end of one era, the beginning of another. Kamala Harris has not won an election yet. Therefore, there is no beginning to another era. So to pass this torch on now says to me, in my opinion, that Joe Biden plans on resigning, not waiting for the 25th Amendment to be enacted. It's going to be another coup, but a coup of his own doing. I called it a coup because he already had a coup against him by Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama. Now he's performing his own coup and resigning in front of everybody. That is my opinion. That is my thought. And then this is what happens. Breaking. President Joe Biden and Jill Biden will not be attending Kamala's nomination speech and plan to leave Democrat National Convention after his farewell address later today. This came out on how do you say their name? Raw's Alerts. The S in there always throws me off. This came out today through that channel on X. Now, farewell address, again, goes along the lines to me of somebody resigning, stepping away. You could say that Joe Biden and Jill Biden want to leave the DNC and not hang around for the nomination speech because it is rowdy in Chicago right now. They have thousands of police officers. They've called in the National Guard. They have gates set up, or walls, fences, that's the word, fences set up. They have concrete barriers. They have pallets of bricks, which that part I'm still not quite sure about why there were pallets of bricks dropped off. It feels very Minnesota-ish. Minneapolis, city of Minneapolis, actually. But maybe they don't want to stay around because they understand that it's getting a little dangerous in Chicago because of the DNC. Not even because it's Chicago, but because of the DNC itself. Chicago is now very dangerous right now, August 19th through the 22nd. You've got the 100,000 plus pro-Palestinian protesters and numerous other protesters and other people that have started taking over Navy Pier in Chicago. They've taken over the streets of Chicago. You have a 5-mile fence police radius around Chicago and the DNC, where they're having the DNC at, because of the lack of safety or the concern of safety because of the protesters. And the irony behind all of it is the Democrats are the first ones to call you racist if you want to put up a wall to keep people from getting in from other countries illegally. First ones to call you racist if you want to require an ID in order to be able to vote. Yet here at the DNC in Chicago, not here, I'm in Florida, there at the DNC in Chicago, they have put up a wall and they are requiring IDs in order to get into the DNC. So the Democrats have just told you that they are racist. I'm just reiterating that from this morning's live stream because people need to know that that is what is happening. It is ironic hypocrisy at its finest. But not only have Joe and Jill Biden said they will not be around for Kamala's announcement or nomination speech, her accepting of this nomination, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama have also said they will not be staying for the nomination acceptance speech. And my thought process on this is because there will not be a nomination acceptance speech because she will already be president. By Thursday, she will not need to have a nomination acceptance speech because she will have the presidency handed to her by Joe Biden. Now, this is my opinion, my thoughts based off what we're seeing. It could also be why they have such a high level of security around the DNC right now, because she could be the acting president by the time this is all said and done. And this could be even more reason for the protesters to incite some sort of violence or riots or whatever else. And I wanted you to hear that from me. Again, my opinion on that. It does not mean that that is what's going to happen. We'll have to watch the DNC tonight to find out. It will not start till 5 o'clock. They have a live stream up of the DNC right now, and the inside of the center where they are is completely empty. Everything's blue. There's not a single soul in sight. But I have this information here that I wanted to show you. Tim Walz was just introduced as the command sergeant major at a DNC meeting in Chicago, because they're having daily meetings right now. They're having the Black Caucus meeting, Hispanic Caucus meeting. There's an LGBTQIA plus caucus meeting. There's an ethnic caucus meeting. There's all these different meetings going on. And at one of these meetings, Tim Walz was introduced as the command sergeant major. The Democrats are basically doubling down on his stolen valor, and Walz still refuses to correct it. Why are the Democrats supporting stolen valor? So let's see if I can get this to play here so that you all can listen to it. I want you to hear exactly what has happened here. Let's see. What else do I have going? Let me close anything else that might possibly have volume to it, because that has happened too many times today. Let's see.
I am so excited and so proud to welcome our vice presidential candidate, soon to be nominee for vice president, Command Master Sergeant. I'm going to start with the title that is very important to me. The Command Sergeant Major, Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. Very well beloved governor.
Now, here's what's interesting to me. Maybe the person speaking is older, but that person sounds very Kamala-esque to me. Like there's been a drink or two had prior to speaking, but they introduce Tim Walz and in he walks, and there is no, once he gets up on stage, there is no clearing up of being called a command sergeant major. The Democrats still insist on using this, even though it has been proven. It has been proven by the National Guard themselves, by the people that were in his, is platoon the right word? I was not in the military, and I do not want to give inaccurate information when it comes to the military, because I think that those men and women are absolutely amazing for what they do. And I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I'm going to go with platoon because I feel like that's right. But even his own people have spoken out and said, no, he was never a command sergeant major. He never passed the test. He never did any of those things that he was supposed to do. This is stolen valor. He continues to let them call him that. He continues to portray himself that way. And that's just not the case. So that is what is happening right now at the DNC in Chicago on this Monday morning, with the introductions of him on stage. Now, this other thing that I have here, y'all, there's so much. Let me see if I can get back to where I was. I'm sorry. Now, the problem here, these people that I'm about to show you have no single clue why they are doing what they're doing. This is the DNC granted credentials to over 200 different influencers for the this event this week in Chicago, giving them access to events typically only given to the press, to journalists, to news media, to people like that. These are influencers, whether it is TikTok, it is Instagram, it is YouTube, it is whatever else there is, Twitch, all these other things. These are younger people. Everybody I see here are younger people who have been financially endorsed by Kamala to come to the DNC to then endorse her in return, to put something up on their social media accounts talking about how great Kamala Harris is, how great Tim Walz is, how you should vote Democrat, how you should ride the blue wave, which I'm pretty sure is what they're saying now. But this here, the development comes as the Harris campaign and the DNC have been accused of paying influencers for support. There are numerous videos out with receipts, if you will, of the Kamala Harris campaign sliding into people's DMs or in their emails and trying to offer them payment to be in some sort of campaign for them in order for them to post videos or pictures or anything that basically says that the Democrats are amazing and that they should vote for Kamala Harris, right? Influencers will have access to a creator platform directly above the arena floor so they can post about all the support they have for Harris. Peer-to-peer organizing is one of the most powerful tools we have in our democracy. This is according to the plus-size queer Miss Juliana, who is one of the people that will be at this thing. Look, they're so excited about this. And it's just a bunch of people have no idea what they're voting for, I can guarantee it. That's really all you need of that. We don't need any more of that. But here's the thing. This group of people all look to be between the ages of 18 to 24, which are the exact same group of people that Kamala Harris has said numerous times are stupid. She called 18 to 24-year-olds stupid, and here she is paying them to show up at her rally, or at the DNC, excuse me, to tell people to vote for her. They don't even know why they would vote for her. Nobody has been able to give a reason why Kamala Harris deserves a vote besides she's a woman. And that's not a reason anybody should deserve a vote. You don't deserve anything because you're a woman, just like you don't deserve anything because you're a man. You don't deserve anything because you're a person of color. You don't deserve anything because you're not a person of color. There is no platform that this woman has stood on that would give anybody a reason to vote for her. And yet here you have people showing up because she has to pay people to be at her rallies. She has to pay people to be at the DNC to support her, to tell people that she is worth voting for. And it's comical if it wasn't so disturbing at the exact same time. Now, we talked about this morning regarding the Biden impeachment. And for those of you who weren't there, let me just reiterate. This morning, information came out from don't remember where it came from. I can't think of the name right now. But they have all the evidence they need to put Biden and Hunter away for life. But instead, they are trying to send Trump to prison for a misdemeanor past the statute of limitations. But the reason I'm doing this, I want you to see the video. I can't play the audio because Fox will copyright everything. But according to this, they have come across information and evidence and proof that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden have basically amassed at least $27 million over the course of who knows how long since his vice presidency and into his presidency from foreign affairs, foreign individuals, and entities. That is huge. So again, the reason I think that today it came out that Joe and Jill Biden will not be staying is because of this impeachment information that came out. I fully believe, and now you have the U-Hauls at the White House. I fully believe all three of these things go hand in hand. The impeachment stuff came out that they have plenty to impeach him with, that they found the money issues. Then you see the U-Hauls pull up. You hear him say he's not going to stay at the DNC. I fully expect him to resign from presidency. I expect him to pull a Nixon and walk away from everything. We talked about this also at the DNC right now. One of their main push for people to show up is the abortion ban, which is just absolutely demonic in my personal opinion. They have a van there to give abortions. It's on a sliding pay scale, whatever you can pay. If it's $5 to get an abortion, go for it. If you can pay $100, even better. Same thing with vasectomies. If you want to go in there and get a vasectomy, it's pay what you can. And they're doing this all outside the DNC. At the exact same time, they are saying that one of their talking points is spread the faith. Faith and abortions do not go together, but this is the mobile abortion clinic in Illinois. This is actually along the Illinois-Missouri border. That's where it came from, but it travels around Illinois, and this is what is outside the DNC right now, along with an 18-foot tall inflatable IUD named Frida Womb, and to attract people to the DNC and over to this area, make it like a nice little parade or a party, if you will. But that is something that I wanted everybody to see it because people are asking what it looked like. That's the whole thing right there. That is the mobile abortion unit, which again, absolutely crazy to me that this is where we are, that at this time in our country's lifespan, this is where we are. I wanted to also show you this if I can pull this up. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, so throughout Kamala Harris's political career, her biggest weakness was her sobriety. This is according to the people who are closest to her. In her first run for the presidency, donors were especially reluctant to fund her campaign, forcing her out of the race. You guys remember when that happened. According to various reports, Obama did not want to appoint her to be the Democrat nominee, and he lobbied fellow Democrats for a week after Biden withdrew to pick someone else. Anyone who has watched videos of Kamala Harris at events over the past 4 years can recognize the telltale signs that she is often drunk and or on mood-altering medications. Should Democrats have taken more time to pick a candidate who doesn't struggle with alcoholism and addiction? Can we afford another incapacitated president? Of course, Tim Walz is worse given his criminal record relating to drunk driving. Now, I will say here that the reason they picked Kamala, we've talked about before, is because the money. The money was attached to her from Biden. They could not pick somebody else. But according to this, privately, Obama expressed concern about Kamala Harris, and the former president urged Democrat leaders to reconsider making Harris the leader of the party, publicly pointing to her absence from daily intelligence briefings as a concern. However, in private discussions, he expressed deeper worries about her struggles with sobriety, doubting her ability to stay sober through the election, let alone beyond it. So, wait, come back. I lost it. Please hold. Man, I wanted to show you the picture if I can get my computer to do its thing. There we go. So this is, you've got Kamala and Obama does not look happy right there. And Kamala looks like she always looks, which I don't even know. Maybe she's already tipsy there. The DNC right now is going to be interesting because in theory, if everything goes as it's supposed to, she should give a acceptance speech on Thursday. Will it be a teleprompter speech? Will they let her shoot from the hip? Because we have noticed that when she goes off script is when things go wonky. When the lisp, the slurs, the difficulty in making cohesive thoughts into sentences, it starts, right? And I don't know if they will let her speak before Thursday, if there will be any viewing of Kamala Harris before Thursday, if they have her in any of these meetings that are going on, if everything will be scripted, teleprompter. And again, maybe it gets to Thursday and there's no acceptance because she's already been made president. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen at the DNC tonight. It's just around 3 o'clock here Eastern time, Central Standard Time, which means it's 4 o'clock Eastern time. The DNC, they said, will start like around 5 p.m. So in a couple hours, I will be glued to what is going on so we can bring you the information later on today or tomorrow. And I don't know which way is better, him resigning or him staying on. I'd like your thoughts on that. I personally, I think that if I'm honest with myself, Joe Biden staying on as president is better because I don't want to know what she could do to destroy the country before November 5th, well, before January 20th, actually. So maybe him staying on is better. But at the same time, if he leaves and makes her president, then people can see what a absolute joke she is and hopefully change their minds about voting for her on November 5th. I don't know. Either way you look at it, it's not great, right? So, but I wanted to bring you that breaking news of the U-Hauls of Biden and Joe Biden and Jill Biden saying they will not be there for Thursday, and of the impeachment stuff coming out because, again, it all goes hand in hand with each other. Squirrel Tribe, we'll have way more later on. This is just a little something. Thank you for being here. I love you immensely. Goodbye.